What's going on today, guys? Thank you guys for tuning in. You ever just like look at all the stuff that you've created, look at the art that you've made, and sat there and been like, yo, this is really great. I love it. But then you see somebody else make something. It doesn't even have to be similar, but it just makes you look at the stuff that they made, and you look at your stuff and you're just like, dang. And you felt really good about it. And all of a sudden, somebody else made something that just completely blows yours out the water. But that doesn't mean you should let that get to you, because of the fact that you're your own person, you're your own artist, you're your own content creator. And what other people do should just be inspiration for you. Now, I know I hear all this stuff about art and content creating and this platform, YouTube, or any other stuff being like some type of competition where you're competing against people in your niche. And to tell you the truth, that's not true. It may look like that on the outside, especially because like there's this hierarchy of people who have X amount of subscribers, X amount of followers or whatever, doing whatever you're doing as your primary source of art or source of content creation. But where people go wrong is that they focus so much on competing with those people, even when they're not at their level, that they lose themselves. And then when they are not getting the success that they want, they don't know what to do. They don't know what's going wrong. Full circle. I'm here today to tell you guys that other artists / content creators are not your competition, and what some things you should do instead of trying to compete with people all the time. That was a mouthful for an intro, but today we're just gonna go with it, you know? So, roll intro. So I may not have mentioned to you guys yet, but I'm on vacation and I'm in Williamsburg, Virginia right now. I originally live in Maryland, so it's not really of a big jump. Oh, look, guys, look, it's funny because I'm up here and like when you stand on the balcony, like a whole bunch of ducks like crowd around at the bottom down here, and they like just wait for you to throw them food. But I ain't got no food, so little do they know they're out of luck. Quack, look, they got more friends coming too. Quack. You think they like understand me? Because like there's so many of them coming over here, and like I don't want them to be disappointed. So the reason why we always try to compare ourselves to other people is that we're either jealous or we're insecure about our own artwork / content creation. And honestly, that's so normal. Like we continually try to put ourselves where other people are in hopes of maybe getting there one day. But the problem comes when that's all we're doing. We're always trying to compete with somebody. We're always trying to measure up to somebody when we're not looking at how good or how much we bring to the platform ourselves, being small creators or a big creator. No matter what you are, it doesn't matter what you are. There's always a point of reference. There's always a point where you're just unsure of the future of your work and somebody else has already got it. And you are automatically like, hey, I want what he or she has, so I'm gonna try to do what he or she does in like some type of attempt to take or receive what that person's receiving. You guys may not be able to tell, but like it's big raining out here. But I'm gonna switch to my phone and we're gonna get some good B-roll though as I transition to the next point. So let's get it. First things first, I'm sorry if this audio is kind of rainy because like I said earlier, it is raining pretty darn hard out here, but it's okay. That's not gonna stop me. Let's get it. So what are some things you can do to actually stop feeling like you have to compete with everybody that you come across? The number one thing for me is to settle in and start loving your own art, loving your own content. And that's really what it comes down to in the end, if you really ask me. People who are in love with their art tend to compete with themselves more than they do others. That means that everything that they do, they're trying to one-up it. They look at it as a challenge to do better than what they did before. And that's honestly what's supposed to drive the creative world. That's what's supposed to drive creatives in general, because look, we're all we got, tell you the truth. We can look at these other people who are doing the same things we're doing. We can look at them, we can support them, and be inspired by them. But at the end of the day, if you want to create content and you want to create anything, you're the one that has to do it, not them. And it's true. People will love the stuff that you make that you're not too crazy about. And that's just the beauty of it. Art resonates with so many people. Creations resonate with so many different types of people. And that's what we gotta realize when we're putting our stuff out there. There's no need to compete with somebody if people like the stuff that you're putting out and you like the stuff that you're putting out. Like, there's no need to compete with somebody, because at the end of the day, you're gonna be trying to do the same tactics that they've used to become successful, and then people are gonna start accusing you of copying and accusing you of not being original. And we all know, as artists and creatives, that's the last thing we want, because we like to think of ourselves as our own people, like the freest type of people in the world, people who can create on the fly, on the go. That's what really is needed in this today's society, because there's not that many people out here who are creating stuff for the world to make it a better place. And sorry, that one kind of sounded like a little rant, but at the end of the day, instead of competing with other people, compete with yourself. Beat yourself. Look at the stuff that you've done before and be like, hey, I could top that. And start getting at it. Start going after it, because it's not going to happen unless you put it into motion. So do that. Do that. So guys, I may have made a big mistake. Where I'm staying at is all the way over there. And it is raining so hard right now. You can actually start seeing it now. Like I said, I had to hold this mic right up to my mouth for you to actually get any type of audio that you can actually hear. So I'm sorry about that in the future, post edit and stuff like that. But we're gonna make it back over there in just a second. I don't know if you guys can tell, but that duck is hurt. Like, its leg is really punished. Like, it's not gonna be able to walk. No. I'm just trying to help you, yo. Just trying to help you. Y'all, it was raining so bad that I actually had to change my clothes. So sorry for the inconsistency in attire, but I had to do it. So we've already touched on really loving the art that we put out, the content that we put out, and falling in love with it. And that's as a means to stop comparing ourselves and trying to compete with everybody that we come across. We want to make sure that we're not doing that. The last thing I wanted to say is you just got to keep making content. The more busy you are on your content, the more busy you are finding the mistakes and the ways you can get better at your content, the less time you're going to spend really digging into everybody else's and trying to emulate and trying to be like other people and finding your own voice. Now, the saying practice makes perfect is a really overused cliche, but at the same time, it's one of the truest cliches out there. The more you dig into your art, the more you dig into your content, the less you're going to spend trying to be like others who are in your niche. And as simple as that. The more ways you can find to be original in your stuff, the better it's going to be for you in the long run. Then people are going to try to want to be like you. And then you can give out that same message of, hey, don't be like me, be like yourself. And then it's going to be a continuous cycle of other artists encouraging other artists to be who they are instead of trying to be like everybody else. That's what it really needs. That's what the game needs nowadays. And that's what we can give it if we just stop trying to be like other people and stop comparing and competing with everybody that we see. Everybody's not going to get to a certain status. Everybody's not going to get to a certain point. But everybody can be the best versions of themselves. And instead of trying to do that, most of the times we just let it go and we just conform to what the world wants us to be. And that's not what we want to do. Instead of trying to compete with everybody that you come across, how about you try to collaborate? If you have an artist that you look up to, how about your main goal, instead of trying to beat them, how about it be, my goal is to try to collab with them one day and create even greater piece of art than what you can ever imagine. If that was the mindset of a lot of creators and artists out here, this whole community would be a better place. And it's simple as that. But everybody wants to be better than somebody. Everybody wants to gain more status or fame or popularity than somebody else instead of just working with people. And it's sad, but at the same time, you got to be the change you want to see. I want to see that change. I want to collaborate with a whole bunch of people. But I'm not going to do that if I'm competing with them all the time. If I'm trying to make my content like theirs, they're not going to want to work with a copy of themselves. They're going to want to work with somebody that brings more to them, more to their art. And that's really what we got to look at as content creators. So that's it for me, guys, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the scenery, even though it rained, and I'm sorry about the audio earlier or whatever, but it's all good. we're just trying to get that message across. So if this is your first time to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you out, if you liked it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Remember to always love yourself. This is Spoken by KJ, out.
That duck down there, bro, like his neck is actually like about to touch his cheeks. Like, I don't know how your neck is that flexible, but like, please, like, teach me.